one block west, one block east of Toronto. Wherever you see the beginning of the black granite stone, where it begins and where it ends can show you how long Mink Mile is. And that street, we have our own name. You won't be able to see it. It doesn't say Mink Mile. On maps it does. If you just search it, it will let you know. Sometimes if they have some advertisements going up, they will show it to you here across the banners here, Mink Mile. But this street is called Mink Mile. So we're coming up on another interesting side, high-end trendy street called Yorkville. So we're coming up to our next stop here, stop number 5 again. Just kind of checking in with everyone. Has anyone changed their mind? Does anyone want to explore Yorkville? This is stop number 5 here. Okay, no one for Yorkville still. Bye. So when you look over here to your right, you're going to notice this tree shrubs and this plaque. This used to be the original location of Yorkville's Town Hall Square. You also see a library, and here's this fire hall, the clock tower I was telling you about. This is still an active, ongoing fire hall that works today. And over here in the corner, we have a very luxurious Four Seasons Hotel. It's also a residential building. You can buy and rent and live here as well. Yes, yeah, if you can afford it, someone says, yes. It's one of those high-end residential, for sure. Yeah, back in 2016, the top penthouse went on sale or sold for $28 million. So that gives you an idea. They're expensive. So unfortunately, we couldn't go to the other half of Yorkville because there's a lot of traffic, so we're actually going back partially on this expensive street. We're back on Mink Mile. Now you get to kind of experience a little bit. You see when you look over, the street is so wide and the black stone. You're gonna see all your Gucci, Prada, Chanel along this expensive street. So if anyone's saying to you, I'm going to have lunch, a drink, a coffee at Yorkville, everyone knows it's that high-end, trendy street, Toronto. One of the many, but this is the most popular one. Very close, like half a block away from Mink Mile. You would go and have dinner or lunch or brunch at Yorkville. So we just passed Gucci, we have Burberry, Louis Vuitton. So over here to your right, we have a church called Church of the Redeemer. It's one of the very first churches that embraced the LGBTQ plus community. And over here to the left, we have the Royal Ontario Museum. This structure piece is called the Michael Leaching Crystals. It was attached to the ROM building back in 2007. It's not made out of real crystals. It's inspired by the gem and mineralogy exhibit that they have. And it cost $270 million to attach to this ROM building. For those who want to check out, for example, your dinosaurs exhibit, mummies exhibit, Roman artifacts exhibit, they also have a very large collection of Chinese artifacts. That's where you want to go, the ROM, the Royal Ontario Museum. So over here to the left, we have a women's soccer match going on. Is it women's soccer match? Yes. Yeah. So this is a stadium home to one of the prestigious universities of Canada, which is University of Toronto. This is their University of Toronto Varsity Blues football stadium and track. but they also have soccer or European football matches happening. So here there is a women's soccer match happening now. Sorry? Oh, that one there? That one's called the Royal Conservatory of Music. That used to be the original location of McMaster University. Then they relocated to another location in Hamilton. So, for example, our well-known Canadian artists, for example, Shania Twain from the country genre, she graduated from there, from the Royal Conservatory of Music. So that's what that is, Royal Conservatory. I was going to actually talk about that on our way back, but that's okay. You caught me. No worries. It's kind of hidden there with all those trees, right? You can't see it. So we are coming up in an interesting street called Spadina. Back in the early 1900s, if you're living in this area, you would pronounce the street name slightly differently if you were part of the working class versus the upper class. If you were part of the working class, you would pronounce the street name as we do today, no real reasons, just easy to pronounce, which is Spadina. If you were part of the upper class, you would pronounce it slightly differently, and then they would pronounce it as Spadina. And Spadina comes from an Ojibwe word, Ishpadina, which translates to a sudden rise inland or high hill. When we get to Casalona, you're going to notice that sudden rise inland and high hill. So of course, for various obvious reasons, the reason why the upper class would know how to properly pronounce the street name is because back then, of course, if you wanted to get educated, you would have to have money to be able to go to school. There was no such thing as free education up before the year of 1848. So before that. Okay. And we're going to be actually making our way to that street name, Spadina or Spadina or Ishpadina. You can call it either way. If you do pronounce it as the origin, like a Ojibwe word, people will be really impressed with you. You know, if you say, I want to go to Ishpadina, they'll look at you, huh? What are you talking about? Even some Torontonians might not even know that either. You can give them a little bit of a history lesson as well. There we go. So this is the street that we'll be actually turning onto, which is Spadina, and making our way over to